Well guys, the Nintendo Switch 2 leaks are just getting more and more intense and spiraling out of control, as just yesterday I uploaded a video talking about how CES is going on right now, where a lot of tech companies are gathering and having some of their big announcements and reveals, and while Nintendo isn't there, we do have a lot of accessory manufacturers and other small tech companies that make Switch accessories showing up and giving some of their announcements, and a lot of them have even shown off some of their new products that are coming for the next generation Switch. But it seems like now we just have straight up videos showing us exactly what the Switch 2 is going to be like, and even more detailed images about exactly what it's going to look like in terms of its final version and more details. So pretty much kind of everything is out there now at this point when it comes down to a hardware level. So there's just so many things going on, and I have to talk about this because the videos are actually kind of insane when you look at all the stuff that we're seeing. Alright, so the first thing that we've got here is this video that says, "Video Nintendo Switch 2 previewed at CES 2025. Prop maker Genki says that he has the real console and displays a 3D model plus accessories." So what we have here is a video of an entire 3D replica of the Nintendo Switch 2. This isn't like the actual real console itself, but it is really a very close kind of 3D printed replica of it, where we can even see here that like the letters and things aren't there, but this even shows off exactly how the Joy-Cons are going to detach. So it's a pretty complex 3D model, and it has some of their accessories on there that they were showing off at the event. So we can press play right here and kind of get an idea. So you can see right here, this is what it looks like, and you can see them taking like the Joy-Con right off and how they magnetically click right back in. And they even have like a video here showing us exactly what it's going to be like with some of their chargers and things that are coming out too. So yeah, this is just kind of insane that all of this stuff is now starting to come out, because we can see here's like a comparison with the current Nintendo Switch in terms of its size and how it's going to look like. And then yeah, we just have a really complex like kind of mock-up here. Now obviously like this hinge that we see right here is not going to be a part of the system, I don't think. This seems to be kind of like their accessory or their product that they're going to have for the system, where you're going to be able to have like a door that you can kind of open to release like the Joy-Con. So yeah, I mean, this is really kind of just showing us exactly what we can expect. Here's kind of one of their like their Joy-Con grips and things, and yeah, I mean, this is really kind of just a replica of the entire system, and you can kind of get an idea now for kind of what the dimensions are going to be like for the system. So it looks like there's going to be kind of a pretty decent bezel on it, but it's not going to be as bad as the launch Nintendo Switch that came out in 2017. It doesn't look like the bezel is as good as the OLED model, but it seems like it's somewhere in between. And besides that, I mean, we kind of just have other comparisons and things here to what it looks like compared to a normal Nintendo Switch, and you can see here it is definitely going to be a good amount bigger. And I guess this Genki manufacturer really decided to just play with fire, because on their website, they have an entire like highly detailed video that shows us exactly what the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be like in terms of its accessories and things. And this is kind of the best look that we've gotten of this system. And it doesn't even look like there's a bunch of accessories or anything from them inside of this video. It just straight up looks like a Nintendo Switch 2, which is kind of insane. So we can see right here inside of their video, here is kind of just a very good look at what the back of the Joy-Con is going to look like. And so unfortunately, this does look like that they are going to be digital triggers. I know yesterday when I was talking about like the images that were coming out, it seemed like from the angle that there was more kind of depth to being able to press in the triggers, but from this angle here, it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like you can only push it down a little bit here. So unfortunately, it looks like the triggers are still going to be the same digital triggers that we have right now, but we can see right here, pressing in this button basically removes it from the Nintendo Switch 2, where you can see right here, pressing in this side button is going to allow you to take it apart. So that is basically kind of confirmation now that this button is going to be the release button. But then after that, we've even got like an image right here of the Joy-Cons, which is also matching up kind of what we had with that image that came out from somebody on Fama boards like a few days ago from like one of those Chinese accessory makers, and like I think it was like a factory that was like posting a picture of what the Switch 2 Joy-Con was like. This is matching up exactly with that, and now we have a high quality image of what that's gonna look like. We've even got the red light here for like the red laser that's gonna be like the optical laser sensor that's going to be on the Joy-Con. So that is basically confirmation now too that you're gonna be able to use the Joy-Con as some type of like mouse or like clicker type of accessory, where you're gonna have this optical sensor and you're gonna be able to put the Joy-Con flat on like a table or something and move it around like a mouse. So yeah, I mean, they just did not care with this video. Like, they're just showing us pretty much everything. So we can see here's like a top view of kind of what the buttons are going to look like. You can see here they made the shoulder bumpers a little bit bigger too, because they are kind of thin buttons that we have right now on the current Joy-Con. So that is pretty nice. And then this, I guess, is also kind of confirming what the colors are going to be like, as I know I talked about how there's going to be a black and blue model and then a white and orange model, but I guess they're also going to have both of these colors in terms of like an option that you can have too, where you have like one Joy-Con that's going to be blue and another one that's going to be orange. And then besides that, I mean, here's actually the system itself too now. We can see right here the USB-C slot on the top is going to be real as well. Here's the game cartridge slot. And besides that, I mean, we have a better view here too of like the volume controls, the power button, everything is basically leaked right here. This is a full-fledged, just straight up leaked video of the Switch 2. Like, yeah, it doesn't have the A, B, X, and Y like letters on the labels and things, but this is just straight up a Nintendo Switch 2. Like you can see right here, they've got that space black color and everything that we've seen. But yeah, I mean, this might be a case or something that they have as like what they have for their accessory that they have, because they have like these grips that are going to be on here that they're going to sell as accessories. But even without that, I mean, we've got the circle here too, which I wonder if that could be maybe like wireless charging, but I highly doubt it. But yeah, you can just see right here, straight up everything just completely leaked about the Switch 2. This is them taking off like the grips, I guess, that are going to be their own accessories. And then we also have them just straight up showing us what the dock of the system is going to look like too. So you can see right here, the dock of it is also going to be rounded, and it looks very similar to what we've seen already. And it's going to have the same kind of little TV light here and in the corner when you're going to dock it into your TV. You can see right here, the logo for the Nintendo Switch 2 just straight up is there too. And yeah, I mean, this is literally everything. I mean, and now it just goes back to what we've seen. But yeah, I mean, if we go all the way to the end here when they were showing us the dock, this is kind of matching what we've seen and heard about too, how it's going to be rounded off, and it definitely looks like a thicker dock compared to what we've seen before with the current dock. And yeah, this is definitely just straight up everything about the Switch 2 leaked at a hardware level. This is probably the most like in-depth kind of leak that we've seen prior to anything else so far. And finally, the last thing that we have here is just a post on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit from a French journalist who was able to interview Genki, and pretty much all of these videos and all these major leaks are coming out from Genki right now, so I don't know if Nintendo's going to do anything about it with them specifically, knowing that they're really coming from this one organization. But regardless, we had the article that came out in French and then it was translated here. And so it talks about the stuff where CES was happening and accessory manufacturers were talking about it. And then they were talking about the stuff that they got to hear while talking with Genki. And it says here, the release everyone says is April, announcement they don't have the info. So it seems like, according to Genki, apparently the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out in April, which would be insane because considering we still haven't had the official reveal yet and we don't even know anything about the system from Nintendo themselves, if it's really coming out in April, that would mean like they would do the reveal and then within just a few months we would have the system in our hands playing games. And that sounds kind of hard to believe. I really would think that Nintendo would want to have like a good 5 to 6 months, around half a year or so, to really kind of hype everything up, drip feed kind of all the news and everything and get it ready for when it's ready to release. But who knows, maybe Nintendo has different plans. And then pretty much all the other info says here, on the television present on its stand, Genki presents videos of the Joy-Con 2 controllers in which we can see the famous optical sensor that has been talked about so much in recent days. The company tells us that this is indeed a novelty of the console, even if it has not been able to test games that exploit it. However, she has no idea of the usefulness of the C button, which will appear on the right Joy-Con, so they don't know what that means yet. At CES, Genki exhibits 2 models of the Nintendo Switch 2, which will confirm all the previous rumors. The Joy-Con are now magnetic, which is a very good feeling of solidity. There is a button to remove them. The Switch 2 is also larger than the Switch 1 and introduces a second USB-C port on the top. We were also able to see Joy-Con 2 with a colored joystick without the possibility of filming them. Again, it is impossible to say if they are real accessories or replicas designed for promotional purposes. The real Nintendo Switch 2 will circulate among accessory stores. Is the real Switch 2 currently walking in Las Vegas? According to some accessories, it is possible to acquire it on the black market provided that you have the money. It could be a lie to maintain the myth, but accessory manufacturers proudly claim to own the real Nintendo console. So it seems like they're saying here that apparently you can even get the Nintendo Switch 2 on the black market right now, which maybe I guess means like if they're like being produced in a factory and stuff, like if you go through a lot of shady like places and websites and stuff, maybe on the dark web or something, I don't know, but maybe I guess you can find a way to be able to get your hands on it. But really, even if you do get one, it's kind of worthless right now if you can't play any games on it and if you don't have anything to use with it. But I guess it is possible for some people to get it. And I mean, Genki was saying that they have access to like a real Nintendo Switch Switch 2, like an actual final version. So who knows how true those all actually are. And then it just says here, the fact does not provide any details about the software is suspicious, but several brands, including Genki, indicate that their mold was made from the real console, not 3D plans. Is the release of the Nintendo Switch 2 in April real? Several accessory talkers seem to agree on this period, while the date of March 28, 2025 had been previously mentioned. The announcement of the console is probably imminent. Without knowing whether what is circulating in Las Vegas is based on the real console or 3D plans, anyway, the Switch 2 should look like that, and its announcement is imminent. So yeah, I mean, this has pretty much kind of been one of the biggest leaks that has happened now, and it's unfortunate because for Nintendo right now, literally, like, they have lost control of the entire narrative if it comes down to being like on a hardware level. Because I think there was like an interview, or I think maybe in like a Nintendo meeting, I think they said, like, I think Furukawa himself said like he wanted to make sure that Nintendo still has control of how they're giving the information for the Switch 2. Well, in that case, they have completely lost that, because all the information right now is coming from Genki and these third-party accessory manufacturers and stuff like that. Like, really, when that reveal does happen, it's going to be having zero surprises when it comes to anything about the system. We know everything down to a hardware level for like what the Joy-Cons are going to look like, what the dock is going to look like, how big the screen's going to be, how the Joy-Cons are going to connect. Really, that entire Switch 2 reveal, the most surprising thing is just going to be whatever games they have, because they can't leak, none of these accessory manufacturers can leak like a brand new 3D Mario game or a Mario Kart or something, and if we see that in the trailer, that's going to get everybody to flip out and get super excited. But when it comes to the actual system itself, everything has been spoiled now, which does kind of suck, because it would have been really cool to see like a laser pointer with like the optical sensor on the Joy-Cons and seeing them magnetically click in for the first time and stuff. But yeah, all of that has pretty much been spoiled to anybody. And I guess if you're really in any of like the Nintendo gaming sphere, or like just knowing like video game news and following it, you pretty much know stuff about the Switch 2. But yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2 has pretty much completely leaked at this point, now that we have detailed videos showing off all of this as well. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about the Switch 2, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you think about all of this. How do you feel about the Nintendo Switch 2 videos and showing off all of these details now about the system and the possibility that it could come out in April? Be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about it, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.